Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Sacham, and today I'm going to be giving an audio commentary on the topic. You've already seen the topic. That's why you have probably clicked on the video. I know. So, yeah, today I'm going to be giving you my point of view on that very topic. So, yeah, let's start. Okay, the first thing I would like to clarify is that, like, I don't really think that the audience is dumb. So, yeah, I don't really think that the audience is that dumb, but I do think they are a bit backward. And I also think that they are not really exposed to what a lot of us want them to be exposed to. So that is the real problem here. So with that out of the way, let's like really dissect this because a lot of people, I mean the rappers, right? So a lot of rappers, like they think that the audience is like pretty dumb. So especially the lyrical rappers, they think that the audience does not understand their bars and they don't really get it. They don't get the wordplay, they don't get the all the technical aspect of it, and they just think that rap is easy. And then there are all these commercial rappers who are just making it way too easy, and and yeah, that's sad, man. Like the thing is, like the lyrical aspect of it is like that the rappers really don't get it. The rappers themselves don't get it. In the mainstream, if you look at the mainstream, like the ones with like millions of views, like there is not even a single song in Nepal with a million views that kind of sounds like it's a rap song, or that kind of blows your mind with their like witty wordplay and clever punchlines. That shit just does not happen in Nepal. So that is one of the major problems that a lot of people have really faced here. So yeah, gonna be tackling that and gonna be talking about what went wrong and why does this thing happen in Nepal and all that stuff. So yeah, this is not gonna be a really a freestyle. This is not gonna be a written podcast, monocast, whatever. It's not gonna be like that. So I've not written anything. I've just opened the mic and I'm just speaking on it. Simply put. So why does this happen? So why do the rappers don't get it and the listeners don't get it and stuff like that? So the first thing that I would like to say is that hip hop itself is a really big genre with like a lot of music, a lot of styles of music. There are rappers that don't really do all the witty lyrical thing. There are rappers that do kind of a straight, clever shit, but they don't really use like multis and stuff. And there are rappers that don't really use either. But the problem in Nepal is that in the mainstream scene, at least, there is no one doing it. There's no any person who's like doing a rap song that kind of sounds like you wanna listen to it again. So when I listen to any rap song that has more than a million views in Nepal, I don't want to listen to it again. I don't like really. I don't wanna listen to that shit because there's not anything that you can catch there. So the thing that I love the most about rap is that when you listen to a rap, you want to listen to it again. You want to listen, you want to dissect all the words they are saying. At least the American rappers or the British rappers or any other English rappers, even the Indian rappers. Even the Indian rappers when they rap in like Hindi, like they're gonna say some like wild shit. They're gonna say some really mind blowing wordplay and like clever punchlines and stuff like that. And when you listen to it, you're like, yo, this is it. But that shit does not happen in Nepal, in the mainstream. It does happen in the underground, but no one is listening to the underground. No one is listening to me. No one is listening to Rage. No one is listening to Asis. No one is listening to Psych and all these other guys. Who can do that? There are like talented people here who can. I don't want to swear, but like you get my gist, right? They can outbar any people uh, all around the world, to be honest. So yeah, that doesn't happen in Nepal, and that's one of the problems. And why does this problem exist? This problem exists because the rappers dumb it down. As Unique Poet said in his single, he said, "I dumb it down for the masses." So that's what it basically is. The rappers themselves, they don't really want to do that shit because no one is getting it, and that's the reason why they dumb it down. But that's just an lazy excuse, to be honest. that's a really lazy excuse to not really rap. They're just throwing away these bunch of multis, and they are saying shit, but these are the things that have been said already, so no one is really saying something new. If in any type of manner, if you make a song about some relationship, or you make a song about your mom, you make a song about politics, all this shit has already been done. They have been, and it has been done really really well. So there's no way you can compete with that. So for instance, if we take a look at the politics songs, the songs about politics, so the rapper Brother B in India, he has done this song, which is like filled with bars. He has made it so enjoyable. The replay value is on that song is so incredible, but it is a politics song. It's a political diss, basically. But in Nepal, there is not a single political song or the song about politics that I'm going to replay. Not a single artist has ever been able to do it. And that is because they just don't care, as long as the audience is dumb enough to not recognize what talent is. And I'm sorry for using that term dumb, but, it is what it is. It is how it is. So at least as long as you don't really expose the listeners to that kind of extreme clever wordplay stuff, and they're gonna think that a person with a basic multi is the dopest thing in the world. And that is the problem. That is the problem in Nepal. That has been the problem in Nepal. And the only guys that I see who are going to be challenging, or at least they will be changing this, is the icon click. I really think that these guys are going to be the ones to like finally say, what, we're going to be changing this, and we're going to give the Nepali listeners something that they can play on loop. Because that what happens to me when I listen to iCrown, because they are doing music that's that can be on the loop, that you can listen to a lot of kind of on repeat. So I listen to some of their songs, and I've listened to all of their songs, to be honest. I've listened to the whole Roses album, and I've also listened to all the VSX album, the Grizzle album. Brahmin's mixtape was dope. So these guys know what they're doing. They have like real rap shit, and they are doing it and at a level that's pretty much respectable. Aside that, like, who is doing like proper rap? There's not a lot of guys who are doing it. So yeah, so no, the audience themselves are not dumb. The audience are just spoon fed this basic lazy returns, and that's what they have been accustomed to for so long, uh, and they just think that that's rap. And that is the major problem here. People with the real like power to kind of say something, to kind of like change the way that people perceive rap, are not doing it. They're just busy just dominate down. So that is the major problem that's happening in Nepal in case of rap music and how it is perceived by the audience. So yeah, that's the problem. So the next thing that I want to say, so okay, so earlier I said that the audience is not dumb, but they are backward. So what do I mean by that? So what I mean by that is that the hip hop music in Nepal has always been about catching up to the Western style of music, right? So we have never been like forward thinking. We are just in the like early, not I won't say early, yeah, early. So we are just in the early 90s phase of hip hop, like in terms of sound, in terms of lyrical content. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is like hip hop in Nepal has not even reached the late 90s, that lyrical era right now. It's just entering that era. uh, so like if you remember, like the first song that really blew up in Nepal was the rap song that really blew up in Nepal was Ma Estaichu Ma Ustaichu, that song by Girish, right? So that was the first song that really caught everyone's attention. But that song was released in the 2000s, if my memory serves me correct, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, it was released in the 2000s, but that song was not the music of 2000s. That song did not follow the song structure of a 2000 song, if you listen to the lyrics, if you listen to the way they flowed in that song, uh, the way they structure their verses, the choruses and everything, that song was a song. That was a song that like kind of reminded me of those old ass hip hop songs by LL Cool J and something like that. So they were trying to catch up to the 80s or the 70s in 2000. So in 2005 they were giving us the music of, I don't know if it was 2005, I'd say 2002, 2003, right? So in 2002, 3, 4, 5, whatever, they were giving us the music of 1985. So they were 20 years late to the party, and that is what the industry is all about. We're all trying to play catch up. So if someone does something like revolutionary, then it's considered way ahead of their time, and that's what happens when the forefathers, when the godfathers of this shit really, messed it up pretty big time. They messed it up. I'm not even going to be blunt about it. So yeah, and and if it wasn't for Yamabuddha, if it wasn't for the late great Yamabuddha, man, we would still be in an era where like the remixes would be like extremely popular, and they would be celebrated like it's the best thing in the world. So I'm glad that we're not in that era anymore. We are improving, but it will take time. The lyrical rap has just begun. I remember, man, I used to text battle in like 2014, 15, 16. I used to text battle in all these online rap battle threads in Facebook, in Let's Beef, and some like that, stuff like that. And I remember like, uh, you know, battling all these other guys from like overseas, and I battled there, and then I listened to like Nepali rappers, and they were like, you know, it's another level of cringe out there. It was another level of cringe out there. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. So yeah, that happened. That really happened, and you know, I'm pretty glad that the music has been really improving these days because of the technology, because of how everyone has the access to all those uh, albums and stuff, and people are like really open to new things. But like it's way off there, it's way off the kind of the point where it should be, and it is all because of us trying to play catch up. We're just trying to play catch up to the 90s. That era has still not arrived in Nepal. That late 90s Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem era, that era has not arrived in Nepal. There is no Eminem in Nepal. Like, there is no one to emulate what Jay-Z did or what Nas did in the 90s in Nepal. I mean, there will be someday, I guess 4 5 years after this uh, podcast releases, I think there will be someone, or not, I won't say someone, but there will be many people who are going to do that. But yeah, that's what the problem is. We're trying to play catch up. So the audience themselves is not dumb. The audience were spoon fed this shit for like so many years, for like 20 years or so. So you know what do you expect from them? And we also need to understand that the audience itself is really divided in Nepal. So not everyone lives in these big metropolitan cities. Not everyone lives in Kathmandu, not everyone lives in Itari, not everyone lives in Pokhara and stuff like that. So there are many hip hop listeners that live in the rural areas, and they don't like to hear your bars, bro, like for real. They don't want to hear my bars, they don't want to hear your triple entendre and shit. They're not about that. So they just want to chill and vibe, or feel okay about their lives. And yeah, that's the reason, that's another reason why this shit has not picked up. But yeah, the problem is with the rappers too, I think. So all of us, like lyrical rappers, we have like a big egos. So I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it like that. All of us lyrical rappers have really big egos, because we think that like concerning, we are, our music is like so layered, so complex, and we do this many word plays, we do this many punchlines, and they're still not listening to it. They're listening to this garbage shit. That happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the music makers, the real musicians, the mainstream musicians, I would call them musicians, because like they're not only rappers, they do make like good quality music. They do make music that really can resonate with a lot of people, so they are pretty good at that. But yeah, I mean, maybe kind of incorporate some rap elements to it as well. You'll be doing this culture a huge favor. If Unique Poet does not dumb it down. If Unique Poet goes ham on a track and does like triple entendres and like stuff like that, and really kind of raps, then it will be good, man. It will not be bad for you, bro. Like, it will be good for the culture, but I don't know why they don't do this, why they dumb it down and stuff like that. But yeah, they really need to upgrade this shit. They really need to like come up with some new shit, because we're bored. We're bored listening to like multis. If you like right now, if you go to like America, they don't like white rappers, right? If you go to face even in Facebook, if you listen to their point of view, like they don't really uh, like white rappers. Why? Because these most of these white rappers, they only do multis. Same with these rappers like Hobson and Dax. They're just like throwing away multis, scheme, rhyme scheme, multis, and that's what it is. They don't have any layered shit, they don't have any clever shit to say, and that is the reason why people don't like them. They claim to be lyrical, but they're not, because they're not like putting any effort into the actual lyricism of it. Well, on the other hand, you have someone like Jack Harlow. He gets a lot of props because of the way he structures his songs, and the way he kind of incorporates that technical aspect to it. So yeah, it's about time that the rappers in Nepal start doing that, man. The mainstream rappers start doing that, because if you don't, then I don't know. We're not gonna be listening to the same old shit. I hope not. I hope that the music evolves and it really catches up to the late 90s, because we are still trying to get to the late 90s format of music right now, and that's at least lyrically. I'm not trying to be all like musically, because musically we have reached, we have producers who can make trap beat in an instant. So musically we are here, but like lyrically we are still in the early 90s as far as the lyricism goes. So that needs to improve going forward. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking. Goodbye.